when I look at professional ones that I based my film trailer on, um, when you look at the first thing that like it fits the forms and conventions of, like for all films it does have the opening credits. It also has a logo, which is followed by the professional ones. It also has intertitles. We used intertitles because we thought it would break up the film nicely. It would tell a bit about the story, and a lot of the professional ones also do that. We also like fitted it in with the horror genre because we made it so that it had blood splats on, and so that it did have that effect. We used I also made some ending credits to go on the end of our film because like things like that just make them look more professional, because pretty much every film trailer will have ending credits on the end, so we made it in that font. We spread it out. We put like everything that it would have, like who the music was by, who it was produced by, etc., etc. We did a range of shots, including panning shots, zooms, things like that on our trailer. We did some dialogue as well, because we think that a trailer doesn't have to have a lot of dialogue, but we thought it should have some. We use locations as well. We used it in the house and on like in the woods, things like that. Like for a lot of trailers, one shot will have like many angles, and it'll be edited so it looks like all one shot. So we tried to do that as well. And we also did individual shots, because when we were looking at Scream's 4 trailer, it had like individual shots really, really quickly to sort of set the scene and introduce the characters. We also did a phone call, which is very sort of common in horror films, such as One Missed Call, and especially Scream 4, or Scream 1, 2, and 3 and 4, because it's like an on-running theme, and it is quite scary, like the thought of getting a phone call like that. We also used mirrors. Mirrors is like a very, it's like a convention that horror films also use, such as the actual film Mirrors. It was all about mirrors, and also like films like The Unborn, and even The Unborn uses a mirror on their poster. Getting dragged underneath a bed or away from something is also from me. I saw this originally in One Tree Hill when I was watching it, and gave us the idea. But then when we were looking further, we even found it in more films like Prom Night and One Missed Call, and it is a common thing that a lot of them use. As I said before, we use locations. We use houses. A lot of horror films use houses, such as Mirrors, such as Insidious, movies like that. We tried to do a few chase scenes as well, because it just sort of builds suspense, which should be. You should build suspense and fear in a horror film trailer. The conventions of a horror film is that it should be dark, because dark connotes a lot more fear than light does. So we tried to use a lot of night, and we also used the sort of night vision effect so that it would look like we were in night time. At the end, when it was like the actual title, we had it faded in, which a lot of films do, and then we said when it was in cinemas, we also made it like a horror genre, because we also put blood on there as well. We put a shot on the end so that when we thought it was over, it actually wasn't, which a lot of films do. And I've got an example of Roommate's trailer there that also does that. So basically, we thought that all of these things put together is like sort of fitted the genre forms and conventions that horror films usually do, and we tried to make it look as professional as possible.